So now, karibu to Alboa Cinema. Kitu wa kwanza, subscribe over there. You can like, for the algorithm, bwana, can push up the subscription a bit. So, finally, I did get to watch Volume, the series, the Kenyan series on Netflix, produced by Tosh Gitonga. Now, I'd done a review of the trailer previous to this, so I just watched this, I think, a couple of days ago, and I was just, marinating in it to see what's up. Now, let's just get a few things out of the way. I wanted to read you what the plot is, right? It's important in my review, so. They say it's a music drama series that revolves around Benja and his dream to become a musician. When the industry proves that such notions are a pipe dream, Benja's world quickly turns into a whirlwind of uncertainty which may quickly jeopardize his musical career before it even began. Though Volume revolves around music, it is really the story of boys becoming men. The hood where they live represents the challenges of young people, challenges all young people face. The music which pumps through their vein represents hope and a future. Like, very generic stuff, right? Now, I watched the 6 episodes, and there's some good stuff in there. But as you can see, it's not like I'm not particularly thrilled, because this was such an opportunity. Oh my goodness. Like, to see, because first of all, the person who shot this thing, let me find out. I remember I checked out Volume DOP. Is it DOP? Very cinematographer. But he's, I think, a South African cinematographer. He is very good. I like the way he shot this particular series. For me, that's the best thing about this particular series. The series is, can I say, I had to write so many things down because, sometimes you'll be called a for nothing, and like, okay, let me just say what's good about this series, first of all. The series is, there are some actors in there that I was really impressed about. There's the guy who plays Castro, Faiz Francis. Oh, man. Faiz killed that role. I think that, in my opinion, he outdid or outperformed the main character. In fact, you remember him more. Once you've watched the entire series, you remember him more than you remember the main character who played Benja, the main actor who played Benja. So I personally, that's one of the shining things. There was the Nyaboke Mora. I think she plays the mom of the main character. She's very solid role. She's usually like comedic in a lot of her roles, but I think she's morphing into a different. She's showing her range, basically. That's what I'm saying. I liked how she did that. Blessing Lungaho was in there for maybe 2 minutes at most, but his presence for those 2 minutes out of the entire 6 episodes was, I remember that more than the other characters they'd put on there. So there was that, and then soundtrack was fine, that it was a bit monotonous and whatnot, but it was fine. And then it seems that there were new actors, at least for the concept that you want to give new actors a chance. There are a lot of these guys who are there, new actors, newish. They are not like new, but newish. And to be honest with you, that's where the problems began, because you could tell the people who are not schooled at this, or who are not particularly ready for the role, or for whatever reason, the dialogue was very robotic. It gave me the stage play vibes. Like, it was very strange. Sometimes it was like the director was not there. That's the other thing I had issues with, the directing. if there was a director, I think it was, is it Abu Melita that did it? I have to be honest with you, the quality of the performances for most of the actors was not good. A lot of the dialogue, if you couldn't tell that it was robotic and sounded like just being recited, something is missing there. So the directing for me was extremely wanting. So there's that. And then there's this monster in that. I call it the monster because it's what has this basically, it's what is basically destroying Hollywood right now. This series felt like it's a Hollywood script. Now I looked at whoever wrote the script. I think she's called Mona Ombogo. She's gone through that Netflix script writing workshop, whatever that was. Yeah, there was something, right? So they've come out writing scripts exactly like the woke shows that are on Netflix. That you have to have, like right now they put in a gay-ish scene, you know, like one of the characters in there is gay. So it's like the way they just introduce it, like, okay, it's okay. And it absolutely, as far as the context of the story is, I didn't understand why it was being introduced. Then later there's like a Lebanese scene, you know, Lebanese, you understand, I can't, you know, sometimes these platforms you have to say one certain way. Yes, there was one where this, the chick who's playing, because there's one powerful woman here, and then there's this other chick who's like a social media influencer or whatnot. Then there's that she goes to her house and you know that there's a Lebanese thing going on. I just didn't understand why those two things were there. Because it's quite blatant to see that is, like, you know, you're just inserting a side plot that has no meaning other than to promote that. There's absolutely no reason you can't do those stories. But why is everything about that? Like, why do us everything? Like, that's not us. Right? Even if you are to do a proper story, you're being told, oh, you have to do a Kenyan story, and then you just do an American story in Kenya. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? I mean, I was really, really disappointed. Like, how do you just insert these things, like, unironically? Do you have to do these things to get these deals, to get paid? Do you have to do this, really? Because what you're trying to do, you guys, is like you're allowing these guys to form how we tell our stories, while being told you have to tell your own story. No. They want you to tell your story how they want you to tell the story. Not how the story is or how we really express it. Do you know how frustrating it's getting that people are just selling off cheap, Bana? Dude, you're selling off cheap. For this, like, why did you put those things in your story? They meant nothing. Absolutely nothing. It meant nothing to the story. I've watched the 6 episodes. Those things are the reason why your series in Kenya here is not popular. That's why it's not going to get Netflix the subscriptions it wants for us to continue getting such deals. Or they don't care. We are a small market. They can spend that money as long as they spread that message. Like, everything has to be around people's sexuality, especially gay and like lesbian. Does it have to be that? Like, I'm asking this question seriously. Does all stories have to be about people's sexualities? Seriously. Like, are you so creatively bankrupt that you just jump on anything? Oh, they give us a deal, so I'm gonna jump on. In fact, like, personally, I'm starting to worry about, because me, I wouldn't hire Mona to write me a story. Absolutely not. I've already looked at some of our, like, I don't know what is going on here, but there's a dumbing down of the content and the creativity. You can't have such a well-shot, well-produced show and have just such a weak storyline just running through. Your actors are very shallow. Like, there's no character development. This person, Mara, is here, then the next thing is in college and is living this life. Mara is famous or not, or he wants, like, do you understand how confusing this is? In fact, because it felt like whoever was writing the story was just leaving plot holes on purpose or didn't see them. They didn't realize that these characters, even when you took your gay character to the end there where they did what they did, Because okay, I'm not trying not to leave spoilers, but the gay character does a thing, but the reason why it's so flimsy is because even through the series, you don't see the development of that relationship to mean that that's the eventuality of how they react to it. It's so forced. It's so shallow. It has no depth. There's no meat. You know, like I really like. I'm really shocked. Why are you guys praising this series? What's nice about it? Seriously, what's nice other than the actors, the few actors who've really like gone gung ho? This series is weak, and it makes us look bad because now we are writing episodes, series like Hollywood films, man. The way they are being shunned by their own people. Like now you guys are taking the advice of these people on how to write stories, and they're taking you to hell with these fake stories. Like, come on, guys. Like, how do you get such an opportunity and you refuse to do a good story, bana? Maze, man, it's so frustrating, but how many chances are we going to get? Jesus Christ. Kitosh. Whatever, man. You guys, you can go support, you know, because it's Kenyan, but I didn't like it. I have to be honest. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Yeah. Because of those actors. Kini the producer story mmeangusha watu, mmetuangusha. Hizo vitu mnaeka hapo za mafala. Why are you putting that shit in there, man? Come on now.
Subscribe to Alboa Cinema.